wageni watatu wa Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani, karibuni sana.
Shalom, salama, siemi, shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world. Whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, I welcome you this morning. Come on in and let this global catastrophe fun begin. Oh boy. Oh boy, has it not been a interesting period over the last 24 hours. I said, let's see what's going on. Last night, I was about to go on live, and while they were trying to quickly scrub this one down, they were really trying to quickly scrub this one down. I'm going to start here at New York Post. Let's go to this article. Let me present that. I have the link on out there if anybody wants to join from the chat. Shalom, shout out to Sister Chantel, because this affects her neck of the woods, because that may be affecting tea and biscuits. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating. But this is what took place last night, 4:03 p.m. This is New York Post. Let me get this link on out to you all in the chat so you can verify the articles. Hallelujah. From Kate Sheehy of the New York Post. It says here the crew of a let me read the title. Crew forced to abandon UK ship in devastating Houthi missile attack. I thought that they weren't really doing much. Supposedly to the west. When they say that they aren't doing much, that's when I tell you they're doing the most. But you're not going to really get all that because you can't really deal with bad news in less than 7 days. That's not a very good precedent, especially in the West. You done lost Advieka, a heavily fortified and dug in position, and now you're quickly on the run towards the West, towards Kiev, with hardly any type of fortifications. And then when they cross the Dnipro, then it's over from there. And the West is either going to invade through Poland to stop the Russian counterattack, which is why they have that major exercise, the 90,000. Because why? Because they already anticipated that they weren't going to be able to really deal with what they were going to deal with. And now this week, as of yesterday, less than 24 hours, you have the crew of a British cargo vessel was forced to abandon ship as the boat threatened to sink Monday from a Houthi missile strike near the Red Sea. One of the most damaging attacks by the terrorists to date. They can say terrorists. It's all a matter of who recognizes who and how things are recognized. They call the folks up there terrorists. I'm just saying, over in the Eastern Mediterranean nation, they're calling them terrorists. So, hey, everybody's a terrorist. Welcome to Terrorist Burger, home with the Terrorist Burger. Can I take your order? She's a terrorist. He's a terrorist. There's a terrorist. Terrorist, risk. I'm sorry. We were literally just talking about all that the other day, and that was kind of on my mind. Let me just kind of get through these highlights, Sister Chantel, and you tell us how bad that's going to. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. All right. The Iran-backed Yemen rebel group claimed also to have taken out a U.S. drone, and that's the big one, in the Yemeni seaside city of Hudaydah, but the reputed attack was not immediately confirmed. The terrorist assault occurred just days after President Biden admitted that recent retaliatory U.S. airstrikes targeted the Iran-backed rebel groups in Yemen are not deterring them. This is interesting. Shalom, Sister Chantel. How is everything in your neck of the woods in jolly old?
Well, my neck and my woods are doing jolly good. I didn't hear anything earlier, but I was greeting everybody, but I didn't hear what you were saying because my phone was just misbehaving. Everything's all sorted out now, though. But shalom to everybody, and to everybody else that I haven't greeted. My apologies. It's kind of I've got like I'm yeah. Oh my gosh, my mom's in the chat. Hey, mom. Yeah. It's crazy. I've been talking to a lot of people, like when I was doing the school run, a lot of people that I was talking to, like yesterday and this morning, I was like, just one sister came up to me and she's like, man, it's crazy. It is real crazy. Like, this world is crazy. And I was like, yeah. I mean, she's awake, and she said, and church don't know nothing about what's going on. Church don't know
Mm,
nothing about what's going on. And I'm like, yep. It's
mm,
it's 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 maddening. It's frustrating, but it's like, And then she turned and she said, because I said to her, I'm not feeling too great. I'm still, I'm a lot better than I was last week, but
mhm,
I'm still a little, you know. And I said to her, she said, half of my family is sick. And
mhm,
she said, we looked up at the sky and the sky was just blanketed grey. And she
mm,
said, I know these people are doing chemtrails, and it's like the solution, it's almost like they've been tweaking it to get it to the right consistency, the right ingredients that is tailored for our DNA. Because I see all these other
mhm.
people walking around and they're fine. They're going on their merry old day like
Let
nothing is
let me
happening.
let me tell you a secret. They're actually not fine. They're actually just as sick as you and I. And honestly, I was really taken out up until about literally last week. It was last Shabbat, or no, on Shabbat I was not feeling well. It was a Saturday after this last one. And yeah,
Mm,
and then you know what? Like everything just it just all came out. Just everything cleared out. And I've
my
been
son's
feeling a
so
whole
sick.
lot better. Yes.
He's so sick to the point when he blew his nose so many times. I can't remember what day it was. His eyes, he blew his blood
Yeah.
vessels in his eye,
Mhm.
completely bloodshot. I'm like,
Mm,
oh wow,
mhm.
you need to rest. you
Yep.
know, it's crazy. But while we're going through what we see, this is just this is spiritual attacks. If we're just thinking that oh, these are colds and flus. No, these are spirits that bring all this nonsense with them.
Mhm.
Remember, these people are tied to their principalities, and their principalities are against our principality, which is Michael, and against the Most High, and against the whole host of heaven, right? When
Mhm.
they come in and they're doing, remember, they cast lots and they do this, they're doing their witchcraft over us, their spells over us, the adverts over us, music videos over us, all of these things, the food, the air we breathe, the water we drink, it's all tailored to deal with us. But it worked. But where we're getting sick, and a lot of us are getting really, really sick, and a lot of us are dying. Sorry,
Mhm.
excuse me, but you know what I mean. A lot of us are perishing, but it's still nothing in comparison to what is happening to them. They
Mm.
are being deleted by the millions.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. I'm sorry, but hallelujah, because the Most High said, no weapon formed against my people is going to prosper. You think you're going to come today to do this to my people? I'm going to show you what real power is. I'm going to show you what real power is. So we need to remember that no matter what, as sick as we get, we're still breathing. We were built for this. We were built for this. This is the most that they can do. Well, it's not the most, because they've done far worse, and they're trying to get back into their worst. But every time they do terribly to us, it's like the Most High stops them dead in their tracks. Like, you really want to go down this path? Do you really want to go down this path? I'm keeping the air in your lungs. Recognize that. But they're still with their pride. They're still in their pride. So I don't know, man. I don't
You
know.
know, you know, let me get Cry Loud Israel on in here before. make my comments, get my little couple cents on.
Hey, sis.
Hey, shalom. Can you all hear me?
Perfectly.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
All right.
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Um, Ak, I'm sorry. Shalom. My mind is like I'm just waking up, so
No
but I have to
worries.
be here. No, but I was listening to Sister Chantel about being sick, and I think it's Sister Laquita last night, and I were talking about this. I think that this is like some kind of a spiritual thing. Plus, I like you were saying, I think it's also targeted as well because I've been it's this time I haven't been sick. This time, probably about a week ago, I thought I threw my back out, and I was just really, really in a lot of pain. So I went to the doctors. I kept telling everybody, there's something going on more than just my back being thrown out. I think
Mm,
something bit me. And my family's like, well, I have my husband and my daughter looking at me, and they're like, no, there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. And I'm like, but something has gone on. So I don't like to go to see these people, but I had to go this time. I prayed
mm-hmm,
and asked the Most High to protect me. I went on to an emergency clinic, and I told the doctor that I threw out my back. She did not examine me. She didn't even check my ears, like they should.
mm-hmm,
Um, Nothing. She just prescribed me something that I told her I was allergic to, which is naproxen. And
mm-hmm,
I went on home, and I'm still in pain. So I called them back and told them how much pain I was in, and they told me to take Tylenol. I'm like, I could have taken Tylenol. I paid y'all $50. Are you kidding me?
mm-hmm,
Um, so I went on to my doctors, and what they did is they gave me some a low dose of a different kind of pain medicine and steroids, and that for the most part helped. But 2 days later, that's when the bites showed up, and I am not lying. The bites look like a snake bite
Oh,
mm,
underneath my arm, my right arm, on the side closer to the like by the not to be graphic, but by the breast, but on the side of my arm underneath the armpit, it looks like two puncture marks. And then on my back the other bite showed up, so now I'm looking at them, and they're dark brown holes, and it looks like two fang marks. And then the back, and my husband and I were talking, and I'm like, maybe it was a spider. And I was like, you know what, I hope y'all gets that spider. I am not wishing for its death, but it should never have bitten me. But something's going on,
mm.
because even my sister Aaliyah, health problems, and the saints, I mean our people, health problems. Everybody's going through something. It has to be something targeted, period.
mhm.
Wow. Well, I'm praying that you're doing better, that the blood of
Buddha.
Yahusha covers you and covers our people, especially during this time. Because I listen, I had to get my blood drawn literally about 2 weeks ago today. As part of my little annual checkup. I left the VA and I was immediately not feeling well. And it
After
literally,
you went there.
yeah, after I went there, and then um my appointment was the following week after that. And let me tell you, those whole couple of 10 days or so, I was not feeling good. They're like, was there any change in your diet? I'm like, no, not really, but my side of my stomach kept hurting, just a lot of things were going on with me, and when I went to the VA, they were like, "Well, you got to be careful. You got to watch your health because you may have cancer in the family or something like that." Like they were just trying to pronounce right
That's what
all
they
of
did
these
last week.
ailments. You know
Rebuke
see what I'm
that.
saying? They were, and I said I'm not. I said I'm not claiming that. I said I rebuke that in the name of Yahushua
Mhm.
Hamashiach. And they said, do you want your lollipop? And I said, no.
Oh
And then they try to, they try to always like argue with me. They're like, oh, well, it's this and that. And I said, I said, I said, I said, no, I'm good. I said, I'm waiting for everybody to take that to turn into zombies. That's why I have a German Shepherd. And then the guy was like, oh yeah, like I Am Legend. He's like, well, if I turn into a zombie, you should probably just turn into a zombie too. I said, no, that's not okay.
They're still trying to
God.
put that on our people. Like,
Yes, man, for
stop
real.
already.
Yeah, and it's like, well, listen, I said, according to the statistics that I've read, it's just going to be a whole lot of black folks looking at other non-black folks turning into zombies. So it's going to be all right.
And
I was
they have a thing for dark meat as well, so you might want to just protect yourself.
It's
Well,
like
I think I told you
brains.
all. Remember that time? I think I told y'all last year when I went to the doctors and I was feeling ill, and my doctor, and that's why I rarely go, but I told her that I was sick and I had a fever and she wanted to do a test, and I said, "Yeah, I don't want to do a test." And she threatened to make me seek psychiatric help because I
Hmm.
was, I didn't want to do it. And the fact that I don't want to get, a lollipop, I was threatened. And I was like, at first I was nervous. And then I was like, how am I going to, because, well, I'm not going to out myself. It is. But I was like, if I have to fight my way out of here, I'm going to fight my way out of here and I'm going to win because I'm not going to let anybody do anything to me that I don't want done. But that did make me nervous because I was expecting people to show up at my house because she said that there was something psychiatrically wrong with me to where I was know, nervous about it, and that the science proved. And I was like, I wanted to tell her, well, the science is your religion, but it's not mine.
You,
So, I had to kind of be careful of the things that I was saying because I was deep in the office and I was like,
you,
how am I going to get out of this room and make it through? I was calculating how I'm going
well,
to, fight my way out.
well, you know what? The funny thing is when I was there in the VA, and because they were trying to, they were trying, but I run laps around folks, and I said, look, listen, I said I'm not against traditional vaccines. I'm not.
Right,
I've had them before. I had them all throughout my military career. I said, but what I'm against is, the advocation of a new genetic technology that uses mRNA
hmm,
that hasn't been fully evaluated, where most evaluation periods are between 5 and 10 years. I said,
Mm-hmm.
even when I, in my doctor program, I had to go through this certification in my last course. They make you do that as part of your clinical uh, things, even though I'm not doing necessarily anything clinical per se, but they make you do that. And they tell you that this is as part of the clinical trials, it's 7 to 10 years that you have to go through FDA cycles. Things of that nature. I said, so when you tell me that I can't really request any results for the next 75 years, I said, well, guess what? That just tells me in my lifetime that I'm not going to take that shot.
that's
Mm-hmm.
right.
So I beat them down with their logic principle, right? Because that's what they want you to do. They want you to agree in their logic traps, their logic fallacies. Oh well, aren't you scared? Because they know that once you get scared and once you get nervous, then they can come through and then really disrupt and distract your thinking. It's just like when you get, with a prosecutor, or when you go to get an interrogation or being interrogated. One of the things that they always do in an interrogation cycle is, right, they throw out all of these a pseudo type of facts, or analogies that make no sense. It's designed to be nonsensical. It's designed to have you delve into something that it's a logic bomb. So they try to get you in those logic bombs so they can do what? Then perform witchcraft, right?
Yeah.
So I have you fearful, then that fear sets me up to infiltrate. And then when I infiltrate, then guess what? I prove my case that you're crazy because I was able then to manipulate you because you were fearful. That's why the word says to fear not. Literally,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
it's to
And they
fear not.
always
Yeah.
they always start with, well, don't you wanna take it? I say,
Mhm.
don't you wanna give me reparations? If it's no for you, then it's no for me.
And that ruined it, and that ruined it for them immediately.
Exactly. Oh, don't you wanna take well, don't you wanna give me reparations? You know what? I guarantee you, just say that, and that will shut down the conversation quick. They'll be astounded. They won't know what to say to that. What do you want to say to that? How can you say that? They want to say no, but then when you get them on their own and you ask them about reparations, they're very we know these people, they don't feel secure in themselves unless there's a whole heap of them behind them. You get them alone and you say certain things and you're like, okay, what about my reparations? Well, have a nice day. That's a conversation done. You know, it just deal with them like how you would deal with your children. That's it.
So I would always argue this that once we are seeing, right, this is the fallacy, right, or this is really the collapse that's going on in front of their faces, right? So it's, if I'm going to go out, I want to take out as many of you all as possible, because why? This is our last chance to really do damage. And so now it's like, well, okay, well, if I'm going to have you do damage to me, okay, then explain it to me. Then explain it to me. See, I look at it as, give them the opportunity to wrap themselves in their own lies, and then they actually straitjacket themselves in their own lies because they can't explain anything.
Like a
And it's
confused octopus.
exactly. And then they actually end up getting mad. And I like to actually see them get mad because then they get unraveled. And then it's, well, the science supports it and stuff like that. I said, hey, great. I'm a
Karis,
scientist
you're
too.
too bad. You're too bad. I swear you're bad mind. I'll just
No,
be sitting there like
no,
watching them like
yeah. I told him, like, I'm a scientist too. I'm a social scientist. Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah. Let's see the statistical support and evidence. Oh, yeah, that's right. They're not going to disclose it. So then let's try to figure out observationally what's going on. And, and see, we try to, you got to remember, our curse was we got emotional with them. And
mm,
if we got emotional with them, then guess what? We were done. Because why? Because you can be wrapped up in all sorts of the manipulation cycles that go on. This is why a lot of our people, look, they don't even want to look at the news. Because why? Because the news now in the global sphere is counter to the narrative that's what's being pushed in the West. The funny thing is that up until literally about 2 weeks ago, everything was fine in Ukraine. Ukraine was winning the war. Does
mm,
anybody remember that? Ukraine was winning the
yeah.
war 2 weeks ago. Nothing to see in Ukraine because Ukraine was winning. And then now Ukraine has ammo shortage. Now Ukraine has problems. Now Ukraine's about to collapse. Now Ukraine's about to fall. I said that on this channel a month ago. Yeah, we're gonna probably see that fall because now they have to agree with the reality that's actually there, because what they were trying to do to have everybody in agreement, hey, your word is powerful, so if you can agree with what we're trying to say, then guess what, you make it happen because your word will make it happen. And black folks were like, we don't care about that.
Exactly. Cannot tell you how much we just don't care.
We don't care. Yeah. But don't you want the Ukrainians to win? Don't you?
Don't you want to give me reparations?
Yeah.
Don't you?
No. But you get what
Should
I'm
we turn
telling
that
you?
into a song?
No kidding.
Don't you want your reparations?
You know what,
Reparations right now.
Brother Paris,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but and I'll send it to you as soon as I have it mixed and mastered. You did something a couple of a week or a couple of
Oh
weeks
my
back
goodness.
where
Please.
you had that song, that music out, and you were singing, and I'm
Oh.
serious, it inspired me. I was like, I like it. I
So
like
so
the
I'm the
music.
orange I'm Orange Man. They call
I'm
me Orange
telling you.
Man, Gucci Orange Man.
I wrote a song and I went ahead and I mixed and mastered it. I even got one of a big rapper to sing in it with
Oh
me to
my
rap it.
goodness.
I'm serious, and I finished it. I'm just waiting for it to come back from the engineer, and before I even put it out, I'm gonna send it to you.
Cause they call
Oh,
me
for
Orange
real?
Gucci Man. I be pushing nothing ad libs.
Your foolishness is starting to inspire people, Karis. I
Oh
It
told
my
you, don't ever
inspired.
change.
Don't you
oh my
want your
Hey,
reparations?
Carl.
Don't you
Hey,
want your
Carl.
reparations now?
Yeah, y'all
all
better
right, wait.
stop because I'm gonna write another one.
Let me get Brother Mike in here. Brother Mike was traveling literally for 2 days straight just to go from Arkansas to Chicago.
Bro,
Brother
you
Mike.
sit you done sit up there and woke up a little bit of anger, but it was nothing. It was nothing on red. Yeah, we make mistakes or whatever, but it was the lady online, and it seemed like the phone call was from India or something, and she gonna give me a flight that was leaving. How you gonna give me a flight and the flight is leaving? And I'm like,
Mike sat at the airport for literally 12 hours straight. Got on a
oh,
flight that was already delayed to get to Houston. Then from Houston, that was delayed. Had to be in a middle seat for 2.5 hours.
oh
He was,
man,
he was supposed to be in Chicago at 1 in the afternoon. Didn't get to Chicago till 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning.
That's
Ooh.
horrible. That's
And I
horrible.
and then Harrison, from there, I was like, man, I was so frustrated that I was not sleepy. I
You,
told the brother,
I
you
was
were
look,
gonna
you
say
were you were mad
that ruins
driving.
your whole day.
right,
Mike, you were in your utility van just mad driving on 57,
yeah,
huh?
How
Man,
many grunts, Uncle
man,
Mike?
mm.
Just grunting to the
I
floor.
lost count, Garth. I lost count, but I just hopped in that truck and I like, boom, I just drove, and I forget.
Corella Deville just flashed in my face right now. Corella Deville
Mike,
driving
Mike,
angry.
Mike, I thank the Most High that you didn't get a ticket in what is it, Metropolis? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
With 5764 connects, because I know you had to go through St.
mhm,
Louis. Yep,
yeah,
you had to go through
yeah.
St. Louis, man. I'm praying. I'm so glad that the Most High helped you on that one, because around that area near O'Fallon, that's actually a bad area for us.
Very much.
Yeah, yeah, they stop you over there. I've driven that many a times, and when you see it literally when you
One
come
of
up.
those sundown towns in those
No,
areas.
that's no. I ain't no sundown town. That's a sundown region because that's over by
Oh.
Cairo in there. Yeah, yeah. Every black person knows. You know, you're okay on the Missouri side. You really are. On the Illinois side, East Chicago side, or excuse me, East St. Louis side, especially near the base on out there. I forgot what the base was called. Nah, you're not okay. You're not okay. So that's about 100 miles worth of driving that you just have to, you know, um, be on the lookout for because they literally just stop black folks left and right.
I love the
Mhm.
way these people think they own the whole planet.
Well, I mean, that's look. What is it? What is it? Downstate? You know what I'm talking about, Mike? That's called downstate because that right there you have Paducah, you have Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas. It's like all right
All of
there. That's
all of it.
it's
It's
all
like
right
all
there.
grouped together.
All mashed together. And that's
This
why
is
you have to be very, very careful in those parts driving. Because I used to do those drives
usually
all the time.
now
20,
you
40, you know, Boy, oh boy.
Now I know back in the days when my mother and stepfather, when we traveled like that up in that area, it'd be a lot of us. I mean, you talking about like 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, and that was really for protection.
Yep.
When one car got pulled over, everybody pulled over.
You don't even know them. You
Right.
don't even know them.
If you,
That's how I drive. That's how I drive. If I see somebody, oh, that's a brother, that's a sister. Yeah, I'm right there with them.
They pull over, and they just sit right there and wait till you get back in your car and you driving again. And it's like they at this point they're seeing something and they're reacting. You know, they can be upset all they want. I mean, even when it comes to, like you all was talking earlier about the medical stuff and things, there's a change of power. They recognizing something is happening, but they cannot put their finger on it. This world cannot put the average American.
They know we're tied to this.
Yeah,
That's what's terrifying.
It's something about you people. Y'all got something to do with it, because we know you colored folks is always in the middle of something. We just can't put our finger on it. Like the sister said, when they was talking about trying to make her out to be mentally crazy. Yes, they can do that. They did it to my
Well, Michael.
Let me address Royal Country City Girl. No, east side of St. Louis, you're okay. Outside of there, east of east side St. Louis, towards O'Fallon, yes. Get down near there when you have that stretch from there to Paducah, and you let me know. Am I lying? When you have to hit around Metropolis and all those other areas, around the prison that's there, you let me know.
Yep. You know what? And I got to a point where I didn't go in that route no more, because it was. I took it like this. I said, well, it's more secluded on that particular highway going down.
Yes.
I said, my truck down, and I walked on somebody's land, they can shoot me down. You looking for help, and I'm like, no, they can keep this one here. It's like you would literally think they built that for that, and I'm like, no, I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist.
They probably did,
and then they probably did.
Well, actually, it's been proven that they do that. There's a little strip that's here in Florida on 301, and it's literally about 40-50 miles from my mom. When you go from Gainesville to Jacksonville, this city was literally, and it wasn't just black folks, this city was targeting everybody. It was targeting everybody, just a little outside of Stark. I think they called it Houstonia, and they dissolved the actual city. They dissolved it. You can Google this. This is like maybe 10, 15 years ago. This town was literally catching everybody in their speed trap, because it would go from like 65, 70 on 301 down to 35 for no reason at all. Just so they could actually just get people in tickets.
You telling me there was a town that was more evil, that was so evil, even more so for white supremacists, that they had to shut this town down?
Listen, when white folks were getting affected and they're like, what is going on? Yeah, the actual state of Florida got involved, and they dissolved the town. And on top of that, I believe, because it was a family, it was,
you're too evil for evil.
Yeah, when their own folks were complaining, you knew it was a wrap. So the judge, the mayor, you can't make this up. The judge, the mayor, the sheriff, they were all one family.
Wow.
And they were raking in millions of dollars a year. I'm like, yeah, they
Mm-mm.
got that. They had the racket. They had the
On
boss
the
hog
next
racket.
episode of American Greed.
Yeah, they had the boss hog racket for real. It was, yeah. It's funny. You can Google it. You can Google it. The Houstonia 301. Yeah.
Here in
So
Jersey, that's like literally how they make revenue. So you
mhm,
know that literally.
yeah, but the
Speed
but the
traps, pulling
but the
people over, especially here in Colts Neck, around Colts Neck.
But it seems
mhm,
like that. I think I mean, we talking about traveling. We need to get back into that because we have separated ourselves so badly that, like not like I said when I was a child. If we travel, we all it was like 4 or 5 cars, and all the cars was packed. But nowadays we have this individual thing going on. Now I'm gonna go down there by myself and so and so, so and so, and then don't nobody hear from you. They trying to figure out where you at. The
Mm-hmm.
situation in Mississippi behind the police station, they had all
Mm-hmm.
those graves in the backyard, and in their backyard, and they said
in.
and they said the graves were so shallow, to the crows was going down there and still, they can get to the bodies.
That's
Oh,
terrible.
gross, man.
Yes.
These people are
It-
so.
like
Every
mother,
time I just think there's just like fresh new hells that they come up with.
but then
Well,
Like,
at the same time, sister, I'm about to call you Sister Patea, Sister Chantel, Yahuwah said, "Whatever's done in whatever that was done in the darkness shall come to the light."
Mm-hmm.
Their
mm,
their darkness is shining right now. It's
well,
well,
shining.
it's not. I want to say it's shining. The
I mean,
darkness is
it's
being
dull.
felt
wait,
and
you
observed.
know,
Well,
Yeah,
Blinded by
you
the
know,
light.
it's getting
you know,
darker and
it
darker.
says, it says we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. They've
Mm,
wearied them, so they even tired them. They're tired of their own wickedness. That's
yeah,
Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 7. They exhausted themselves. Like you gotta believe that being that evil is exhausting, especially when you try to it's gotta be that exhausting.
Tyranny takes a lot of effort.
It does. It's like, oh my gosh. And
so
not
well,
only that, it
I'm
ages
glad that
you.
because that kind of segments me to the next story here,
mhm.
and we're gonna share this one. This is fair use. Let me drop this in the chat. I wanted to show this one first because this kind of segments, into what we're going to be talking about in the ICJ. So let's try to, appropriately model, how we address this thing, because we know, it is a sensitive topic, and YouTube will go after me. Yeah, they will unsubscribe and shadow ban. They do all that stuff to all of our channels, but yeah, they will actively say this and that, and you know,
So touchy.
yeah. But let me go ahead. This is about I'd say 2 minutes, but this is very interesting. Very interesting. Let me go ahead and play that. Where's this at? There we go.
What's happening in the Gaza Strip, the Palestinian people, does it exist in any other time in history? In fact, it only happened when Hitler decided to kill the Jews.
Welcome to Candid Africa, truthful and unapologetic.
It's very funny. It's very funny when I see the rich world announcing that it's stopping contributing to the humanitarian aid of the Palestinians. I wonder how politically aware these people are, and how big are their hearts of solidarity when they don't realize that Gaza is not a war, but a genocide. Because it's not a war between soldiers and soldiers. It's a war between a highly prepared army against women and children. Look, if there's been a mistake in this organization, whoever collects the money, let's punish them. But don't suspend humanitarian aid to a people who have been trying to build their state for decades. Not only has Brazil said it will contribute, I can't say how much because it's not the president's decision. You have to see who is in charge of this in the government to know how much they're going to give. Just as Brazil has said that it will defend at the UN the definition of the Palestinian state being recognized as a full and sovereign state. We have to stop, being small when we have to be big. What's happening in the Gaza Strip with the Palestinian people. Does it exist in any other time in history? In fact, it only happened when Hitler decided to kill the Jews. What's happening in the world today is a lack of decision-making bodies. We have no governance. I say it every day. The invasion of Iraq didn't go through the UN Security Council. The invasion of Libya didn't go through the UN Security Council. The invasion of Ukraine did not pass through the UN Security Council. And the slaughter of Gaza did not pass through the UN Security Council. In fact, the decisions taken by the Council have not been complied with. Nor has the decision taken now in the South Africa case been complied with. What are we waiting for to humanize human beings?
There we have it. That has been okay.
So I'm gonna I dropped that in the chat. I want to say,
bro, that's gonna be hard to do.
Yeah, fair use on that. That is for educational purposes. How whatever views are expressed with President Lula of Brazil. Hey, that's President Lula of Brazil. You can say whatever you want. YouTube can say whatever it wants. I'm just saying, because that segments into what we're saying, right? There's a moral ambiguity that we have been stating all along. And now the world is looking at this moral ambiguity and they're saying, nah, you can't be morally ambiguous. You have to now come correct what's right and what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's the thing. To me, what does that sound like? I'm going to talk to Brother Garth, and then I'll swing back to you, Sister Chantel. But Brother Garth, tell me what you think, what you just heard with Lula, in respect to what he said about conflicts without council resolution. You're on mute, Brother Garth. I guess Brother Garth doesn't want to answer.
Who's in their rocking chair?
That's me. That's me.
I can hear rocking. Is that Granddad? Are you in here? Who's rocking?
Yeah, I'm on my hills and everything else. I'm like, man.
I told you. You can't get away from me. My ears pick up everything. Sorry.
Well, wait on Brother Garth. Go ahead, Sister Chantel. What does that tell you?
Okay. Sorry. So as I'm listening, there's a lot of things that's telling me. The first thing it tells me is that, well, for one, I'm like, what are we going to do? We're going to wait until these people are literally annihilated, and then the world's going to be like, oh no, oh dear, oh my, what happened? How did we stand by and let this happen? Like, okay, right. Are we going to literally just see them completely obliterated off the map and then react and say, and then have, whatever, meetings and this, that, and the other? But then the other thing that came into my mind as I'm watching this, it was like, as he's saying, this didn't go through the UN, this didn't go through I'm thinking, one world, what? One world, what? One world, everybody has to go through certain, this one world decision making run by whoever has been appointed. And it's not going to be people that's been appointed and governed, is being governed by the Most High. And it just kept putting me in mind of what Yakoba was saying about all this, it just leads, to this whole one world order, whether it's a one world, the courts, the one world, decision making, one world health organization that comes in and tells whole countries, well, this has to be done and blah blah blah. And then who's to stop that organization from appropriating your stuff, saying it's illegal by this, that, and the other because you're under this charter? That's pretty much what I'm seeing. The beginnings, the evolution of this one world system that they're trying to rope everybody into. But something has to be done. This is just next level wickedness. And I know some Israelites will be like, oh, well, it's not, I don't care. I'm not that, bro. I really do get triggered when people say that, because these are the same people that say, we're going to rule over people. We're going to be this and we're going to be rule over what? If you are supposed to rule over people, then you need to react as if you are in rulership. Those people, sometimes these people are looking for leadership. Show them by reasoning, by the fact that they're looking at these people and they're seeing these people in a different light. By contrast, we will be showing them who the Most High's people is, and that standing up for what is right and just. Yes, these people have done what they've done to us, but this is not for us. The Most High will deal with these nations, and this might be, he might be using them. This might be part of their punishment, where he's using them as an example to put them onto blast while revealing the light on us. But it's not for us to turn around and say, yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Then what kind of ruler are you going to be? Are you calling yourself? You're not fit to rule then. If you turn around and say, well, I don't care about whether there's children dying, it's not my business, then you got no business ruling, period. That's just how I feel.
Thank you,
Well, I mean,
Sister Chantel. Let me get to Brother Garth, Mike. Then I'll get to you. So Brother Garth, go ahead. I was saying in respect to council decisions, right? And I say council decisions because, you know, we can see how they're trying to say, look, we've already been in a new world order. To me, that doesn't faze me. We've been in a new world order.
Mm-hmm.
That was established. See, it's a difference when we're in a new world or quote unquote new world order, because there's now folks that traditionally haven't been in charge that's now standing up. But I don't. Let's not make any mistake about it. I just thought that something was very interesting that you now have BRICS with Brazil and South Africa saying some things in terms of the policy. Brother Garth, what did that sound like to you?
It sounded a whole like a lot of legal jargon and a lot of words and buzzwords to set a precedent for a world court or government to stop what's going on. That's what I hear. I hear is them using that G word all the time, and them like making people, they're literally trying to force people's heads and make this an ultimatum, like you need to choose. You can't be in, you can't be like Switzerland at this point. You got to pick a side, and what side you pick is basically going to determine the trajectory of the global homogeny of the world. But then again, we already know it doesn't matter what side they pick or what side they necessarily support, because it's all going to be used for the Most High's plan. And obviously, I mean, like Sister Chantel said, I guess we're going to have to. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna wait till those people get destroyed, but I know someone's gonna get destroyed, and then it's going to, bring up a lot of questions and a lot of betrayal and a lot of hurt feelings, and a lot of it's going to get to the point where, yeah, this is gonna cause like a huge conflict, and then that man of partition is going to make peace. That's what I think.
Brother Mike, what say you? And I'll get to you, Sister Cry Loud Israel. Brother Mike.
I think It's where he gave the speech.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes. Yes.
He gave the speech yet.
Yes.
It was not the United Nations he gave that speech yet. It was the African Union. Am I wrong?
Oh man, that's drum roll. Man,
I didn't even know that.
eggs. Look, because I want to go down the article right here. All right.
Sorry, can you repeat that? Because I don't know what happened. My phone literally, I just couldn't hear anything. I just heard you scream.
Okay. So, all right. Let me go to this article because Mike highlighted something. I have this article shared and I put this in the chat. This is from New York Times. Right. This is the speech. We heard the speech, but here's the caption. This is why they're getting mad. Here's the caption. President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva of Brazil at the African Union Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on Saturday.
That's the ticket.
Lines that they're showing their allegiances.
Come on now. They done lost Africa. I told you they done lost Africa. You're not going to have anyone from the West. You're not going to have the United States. You're not going to have Israel, the French, none of it. None of it. So when you're seeing what's happening, when you're seeing how things are being polarized, look, it's the what is it? The evidence is in front of your eyes. The evidence is in front of your eyes. No. African Union is not going to allow Israel to join. They said as soon as if that happens, South Africa goes away. And they don't want that because South Africa is about to bring in troops into the DRC to help stabilize it. We just saw that. We just saw that article a couple days ago, last week, man.
And that's literally going against the United Nations.
Is that place still trying to get into the African Union? It's still trying to get a foothold.
Because remember, that's why it was set up. So when people try to say that dirt patch is, the real promised land, no, it's not. It was set up to be the most adjacent part to, the segue between Europe and mainland Europe and the African continent. Because why? Because generally that was Turkey. That was Turkish. Ottomani. You see what I'm saying? Now you can start to see that's why it went there. Because why? The other choices that they wanted to set up was literally in Africa. Ethiopia and Kenya, Uganda.
Well, exactly, because they know where the land really is.
Because that would have been, if they had done that, that would have caused so much of a chaotic stir. You all are European. How are you able to? No, it wouldn't have survived. It wouldn't have survived.
You know what, bro, Cass? I don't mean to cut you off, but
80 years. Yeah.
It'd be like the Samaritans again. They can't do that.
Yeah, but that's exactly what happened. Why did that happen? Why was there always violent protest? Because other nations came in and they had distinct phonetic or phenotypes. They knew who they were. You don't look like us.
That's not don't even act
racial.
like us.
Yeah, that's not to be racial or that was the truth.
Oh, and it's going to be racial. It's going to be racial. It's racial. It's going to be in.
But that's a historical narrative because that's even said in Josephus. This is why they don't like to talk about Josephus or Maccabees for the most part. Now they look like
Maccabees makes so much more sense after Truth Unedited's video and how deep he went into how literally, bro, Karis, it was funny. Like my whole Western college education was funded by those people.
Mine too.
As soon as he started speaking, all I heard was First Maccabees 3 verse 48. They opened the book of the law and sought to put their likeness in. I was like, well,
And
No wonder they took it
We've been
out.
here all the time. See, right? That would have been. We've been in
No wonder
Uganda all
they
the
took
time.
those books out
We've been in Ethiopia all the
and called
time.
it
That would
hidden.
not have worked. That would have not have worked. Now
you
you have this going on, and yeah. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just looking at you have the UN, then you have the AU,
Mm-hmm.
and so now, yeah, you're seeing two powers. These are the two powerhouses. When you talk
Yes.
about the 10 toes, partly weak, partly strong. Hey, wait a minute, what's going on? And so now I'm looking at it. These leaders who has seen how there's a double standard as to the help of different countries, and who may, like the West, all right, they get involved over here because there's some monetary things that they can get out of it. But if there's nothing that they can get out of it, they're not going to step in it.
Mm.
But at the same time, you still go be condemned for it because you have the power to say yay or nay, but you chose not to get into it. But so a whole lot of people can lose their lives, can be deleted because you're not doing it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. The biggest thing to me that I see stand on out is the fact that now the okay, yeah, Sister Chantel. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's you,
That's not
Mike.
me.
What's that?
Oh man, that echo was coming through terrible. And so, no, the biggest thing to me that I see is that now you start to see the formulation of the beast system getting ready to throw off the daughter of Babylon. They're
Yeah,
now making their speeches. They're now getting the political, ratifications, right? They're now rallying because now they're trying to tell you, look, if they didn't go through these proper channels to begin with, then we don't need to go through any proper channels for this particular matter. On top of that, let me tell you how warfare works. The moment that you unleash your armies, you're not going to put that genie back in the bottle. The moment you unleash your armies, it doesn't go back in the bottle. What happened in World War II? The armies got released, and guess what? Some can argue we have been in a war and a conflict ever since. There has been some sort of a major war or major conflict every year since World War II because it is a political and financial and economic gain. Think about Russia. They said Russia's economy was about to collapse. Now they had to admit Russia's economy is doing fantastic. And with the economy doing fantastic, then guess what? The military might is moving. And with the military might moving, then guess what? That genie is not going back in the bottle anytime soon. Putin may say, we're going to stop at Poland or whatever, Dnieper. He may say that. No, he's not. That genie is out the bottle. That dude is coming for all of Europe. And they know it. Why? Because they know that they can roll on folks. And guess who's going to start to participate once they cross that Rubicon into Poland? You're going to have Central Asian nations first because, you got to take home the spoils. That's good for business. And then you'll have the African nations second. Always has been. What happened with the Gulf War? Primarily the United States, and what ended up happening? Here comes UK. Here come all the other birds circling around. Here comes Australia. Here comes New Zealand. Here comes the Canadians. All the birds circling around because why? Because they want to pick at the carcass. Do you not think that the same things happens with the beasts? The leopard, the bear tearing down its enemies. Guess what? The bear will only eat so much, and then guess what? The rest of the carcasses are left for the other animal nations. The rest of the carcass is left for all the other nations to do what? To take their pick.
You've seen how bears eat as well. They take the fattest part.
They take the fattest part, and then everybody else is plucking the carcass to the bone.
It's funny, they take the behind. So I don't know. You read into that what you want to read into. Like maybe this might be an attack that they do not see coming, literally.
Yeah, because the bears chase you down from what? Behind.
I'm sorry, you said the Canadian crow. Hey, folks, don't mind if I do. I'm just gonna take scraps of whatever is left.
No, they're going to get it too. All the West is about to get the heat because why? It's a world system that's getting ready to get spun up. Lula, to me, is just telling you where they're all standing. So why? So now you're seeing the slide into kind of the Western descent. The slide into the Western descent. And this was going to be my final article.
As you're choosing the article, I was reading Zechariah. It seems like the horns are losing its power, and the carpenters are about to misplace the horns that scattered Yasharel.
Yeah, this is Al Jazeera. I want to, because this is now where this is all stemming from. This is a new proxy fight. This is a legal proxy fight. ICJ demands implementation of Gaza measures, but no new action on Rafah. Top UN court notes perilous situation, but rejects South Africa request to order urgent measure to safeguard civilians. Now you are seeing, hey, well, if we don't get the urgent measures, and we're not going to wait on the courts, we're not going to wait on these systems, we're not going to wait on these resolutions.
That happened over the weekend. I was going to ask you if you heard about that, actually. I was going to ask you about that. They turned down their application.
Yeah, that's why they're going to all come together.
Mm-hmm.
This is now the drumming up. I wouldn't be surprised that by the end of this week, there's going to probably be some sort of a military coalition by the end of this week. I wouldn't be surprised. Because remember that they had until what? The 26th to be in compliance. We're only week 3 into that 30-day window, supposedly. That's why they're making their move.
Didn't Biden give Israel give that place was it 40 days?
It doesn't
to
matter what
comply?
Biden. It doesn't matter what Biden says. They're trying to tell you they don't care what Biden says.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like why, if you were really concerned about the Palestinians, why would you not just say within the allotted time?
Why would you not be in agreement with the courts?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Why would you not be in agreements with the ICJ? Now you have to understand. No, they're asking for the time because they're asking for the time to plus up supporting those folks. This is now a conflict by legal proxy. This is now the conflict by legal proxy. This was always going to go to war. This was just the steps that segmented the road to war. So you're going to have the global South against the West. Then what happens when that place gets taken out? Right? They're going to flee probably to, more than likely, the United States, the UK, and other Western nations. And then guess what? Nah, you just don't stop. Now you go for the full jugular. You go for the full jugular. That's what I was telling you, family. Look, this to me, like, you know, when they say war at the end of 2024 and this and that, you know, the war is going to start this year. The war starts this year. What naturally happens when warfare starts? Well, we just saw it with Ukraine. Did we not? What are a lot of our people going to say? This is not our fight. You know, it's time to throw some deuces. Hey, you know, shout out to America. I'm glad that you helped me with getting this and that and that and this, but we know what's happening. Time to bounce.
Yeah, because they're going to want to try and shove us to the front lines.
Bingo.
That's exactly, and stop us from leaving, because that's exactly what they did in Ukraine.
Bingo. So what are you looking at with the African Union? To me, my guess, my estimation is that you're looking at a lot of these policymakers that's probably more than likely trying to provide some sort of a legal recourse or anything else that would be utilized to help with the six diaspora region to have some sort of a legal recourse.
Bring my people home.
And I guarantee you that's what's getting ready to happen.
Wait a minute. Say it again, Kara. Say it again.
I said that we're probably seeing in the African Union some sort of legal recourse or measure being drafted on up for 6 region diaspora folks to have protective measures. Because why? You already saw the precedents with Ukraine. Hey, we got to save our people. Well, who's your people? Everybody that belongs to Africa or whose lineage is in Africa.
Exactly. Did you, like, oh my gosh, the other day, sorry to cut, but the other day I got into some stupidness with somebody on some next channel who was saying the only the only people that are Israelites are those that are in America. That's all Israel. I'm like, okay, because I understood what they were saying. That's their land. Everybody else that came out of Africa is they're not Israel. I'm like, okay. I didn't even press the matter. I just left it because
Yeah, so long since you don't even fight no more.
Yeah, don't catch
Right.
your
Yeah.
swine.
I'm not. I'm done. I'm done.
Don't
Like,
Sister Centel, you don't get what's holy to dogs, scripturally.
Yeah, and
that is
don't
true.
cast your pearls before the swine.
I
Mm-hmm.
just find it funny. Like, where are you? Like, where is Babylon? I didn't even say that. I didn't even ask. My head was like, so where's Babylon? But I just thought, I ain't even got time for this. I'm gone. Stay in your
No,
own
we are
space.
at that point. We are literally at that point where we are not trying to go back and argue about basic uh, information from a biblical standpoint. Those days are gone.
Yeah,
Because all right, it's been laid down, it's concreted, it's there. And so it's like, all right, man, you got to find something else to talk about. We not, and you must be new to this.
Yeah, we're now just talking about now. This is a road to war, and any
Mm-hmm.
type of military conflict that you have, we're past the debates. I want you to understand, we're past the season of the debates. You know,
Very much.
We
diplomacy is dead. The
we know
job of
who's
diplomacy is
actually
dead.
actively attacking our who we know what people are gonna believe until they can't have the avenue to believe it anymore. And
Hmm.
like I honestly see what people are doing in our community, and it's just honestly disappointing. But honestly, just stick with. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but at this point, just follow the people who you trust. And Brother Karras is one of them, and Brother Yacoba is one of them. And a few other channels. I only trying to follow like-minded people. People are now just going to the wind and to and fro with
Bingo.
doctrines
Oh no,
that
don't get it twisted. I was on one of those, like those African channels. I wasn't on anybody that's teaching as you
Hmm.
guys are.
Like a
So,
secular. It was kind of a secular.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was a secular channel. So, there's always going to be Israelites on these channels. So,
Hmm.
and I just found it
Well,
interesting that they said
They're
what they said.
Yeah, they're still holding on to the Ankh and every other comedic nonsense. So yeah, you can tell that they're blind. So you don't. It's just they're falling into the pit because they really don't understand what's actually happening in front of their faces. We
well,
know
I
Actually,
would
what's
say, I mean,
this is.
I, I would say this though. I had a few brothers and sisters reach out to me directly, and don't get me wrong. Now, I mean, they're just looking when they have this sense that they are awakened. Is that me?
Yeah, I think that's you.
Karen, is that me? With this? All right, I'm gonna go out there and I come back in.
All I wanted to say was that, to be honest, what they actually said was, to all you African Americans and who aren't FBA, don't try and we don't need you to help represent us. We don't need you to fight our battles. We don't need
Charmin,
this, that, and the other. Oh, who is that?
you're giving feedback, Sister Charmin.
Is that me?
No, that's Sister Castile. I mean,
But
oh
let
my
me
God,
unmute it. I'll mute
wow,
it.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they were just saying to all those non-African American, to the others in the diaspora, we do not need you to talk for us. We do not need you to fight our battles. We do not need you for anything because you don't understand our experiences. And I was like, oh, you don't know
so it
how
could
much
be
you
some
do need.
random white person trying to stoke, like, I don't know, Sister
It could
Chantel.
have been.
You just
It
know
could
that
have
it's
been.
COINTELPRO. All these people are COINTELPRO. Just know that. And I understand, like, 2, 3 years ago, I wanted to bring everyone together and speak out against these people, but I know they're my enemy. And, like, that these
Mm.
people who are saying that this land is, our land is America, or we're Native Americans, you already know who they are, what their spirit is, and what they're trying to do. So just, I don't know, just save yourself the strife.
Yeah, it
I
is
mean, don't get it twisted.
COINTELPRO.
I did.
It
I
is
did.
bots. Now think about this. A lot of the things it's actually been proven. A lot of what's going on in these channels are bots. A
Mm.
lot of them are bots, and you have to understand. Look, whenever you're about to go into a military campaign, do you understand the thing that ratchets up the very first thing that ratchets up before you go into a military campaign is the disinformation tactic.
Communication. Yeah. Hmm.
You have to have disinformation. A disinformation campaign is always in the works because why? Because they're trying to confuse you. Do you remember 2 years ago? This time, 2 years ago, with Russia going into Ukraine, what was the United States saying? Oh, nothing's going to happen. Is this and that? Oh, there's peace talks. There's this and that, and there was nothing. Everything that they were saying was a complete lie. It was a complete and total lie. And then when Russia went into Ukraine, then what did they do? They had to shut down communications of Ukraine. Remember, the media was not reporting on it. Because why? Because the media is the arm of the communications disinformation campaign. And then they had to formulate the strategy of how to deal with it. Because I still distinctly remember that 2 years ago. And there are a lot of white folks. I'm sorry, white folks, but this is true. There are a lot of white folks who were very heartbroken. They were saddened.
Why?
Because their psyche was shattered that the Russians went to war. And once you step past that Rubicon, you know that you're not coming back. Oh, it's just a special military operation. Okay, it's going to be a special military operation until literally World War III is done. And they'll be like, oh, yep, that was actually World War III.
Oh, they really kept trying to talk themselves off the edge of reality.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is. But they were like, no, it's not that. It's not that. Like, okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then people, then it got to the point that people were listening and realizing that it was all a lie, and then they got mad. They got concerned. I don't think people understood. The markets dropped. Go back to the Dow Jones. You can see the historical data weeks. The market dropped for that week. Those couple days, and then it rebounded thanks to BlackRock. Because people were scared. Oh snap! It's time to start moving money because it's going to hit us. It's going to hit us, and then the U.S. had to come out and say, no, it's just going to be strictly there, and we're going to contain it there, and it's not going to go there. Okay, how? Well, we got something, and then people started
Witchcraft.
to realize, and then that's what it was. It was a proxy war. Because why? Because they weren't ready. Remember, not even a month ago, the West was not going to go to war with Russia for another 20 years. Then it was 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was 2 years.
They're still not ready.
And it's like, maybe in less than 2 months. I don't even think they have 2
really
months.
don't want it. They don't want it. But but they keep literally poking the bear.
Yeah.
But so for people that don't want it, you just leave them alone. Stop it.
It seems like it's like the world is trying to put out a lot of distractions. I mean, here, there, put a distraction here, there, whatever, because it would appear. I mean, they coming with all of a sudden you have you got aliens, you have this, you got the Super Bowl, you got this going on with black entertainers and things. It's like it's like they're planning, they're lacing over a cake with the frosting.
Mm-hmm.
That we got to keep you occupied because there is a bigger picture we don't want you to see nor know about what we're trying to do. It's like they are under the gun to get this done because the world is saying we need or want information in order to sustain our lives or livelihood. That's what I'm seeing in this world.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Sister Carlotta Israel. Yes.
What you're saying, Brother Michael, is completely true. And I'm just going off topic just a tiny bit about the world wanting to remain asleep. Because as you know, I was subbing and I took on a long-term subbing. As you notice, I'm home today because I decided, I just don't want to do long-term because it requires me teaching. And the subject that I was teaching was history. So yeah, I know. And their thing was they were talking the wrong person to put in the classroom, with your children. So, we're talking about World War II.
Yeah,
That was
don't
the
put no
subject.
Israelites in the classroom.
No, not
No.
us, because I'm telling you. So World War II is what we were talking about. So apparently, I said that history repeats itself, and I began to tell the kids about what was going on in the world today and how everything tied in. Well, one parent really was upset about that. So they talked to me about it, and I'm like, okay, okay. So last week they decided to scrap it because I actually explained to the administrators, have you even read your material? And they said no.
Mm,
And I said, well, your material is more graphic than anything I was telling them, period. And I was
mm,
telling them the truth. So last week we began to talk about Dr. King. And so at the end, all I said was this, and to me, all I said was this, but all I said was, at the end of his life, Dr. King actually regretted what he had done and had made the statement about, he regrets sending his people into a burning building. What? Well, these children went back, and out of 118 students, one parent was upset about that. One parent was upset about that. And so I went back to my the principal talked to me, and he said, Miss Castillo, it's not a big deal. It's okay. I said, well, let me tell you this. I also told them that his body was exhumed and his son saw it for the first time. He said, oh, that's okay. But when I went back to my desk and I sat there, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm really not a teacher. I'm a singer. And I'm like, everything that I'm telling them, I'm telling them the truth. And I told the Most High, I was like, I'm telling these children the truth, but I'm not being graphic. I'm not telling them anything that, I think is out of order. I said, but I think I can't do this because this is indoctrination. They want them to
it
know this
is.
and this only, but you can't have any more discussion to elaborate on anything. So everything that's going on in the world today, I would never be able to tell anybody because
Mm-mm.
this world wants to remain blind and they want the people in it. Well, they know it, but they want the people to remain blind and they don't want anybody to know anything. So I 100% agree. And, back to what you said earlier, only because I didn't jump in then, Brother Karras, when you said that, the New World Order has always been, we've always been they always tell us things after the fact, anyhow.
After the fact,
So,
Mm.
exactly.
right. So we've always been in it anyway. It's just that now they're implementing it to where, slowly so that the people get it in spoonfuls, whereas those of us who are awake, look, we've always been in it and we're trying to tell you people about it. These are distractions. Of course they're not going to let Israel in, and of course Israel is going to try to get in, but to me it's just the arrogance of the West to think that you can cause a whole bunch of destruction, but you want to what is it, you want to be a part of something that you've made it to where you're not welcome because we see the fruits of what you've done in the past. So I'll drop it there though.
No, no,
Well,
no, no,
sis,
sis. No, no,
do
sis.
you remember? Sorry, I was just going to say, do you remember that? I think it was about a year or 2 years ago. There was a lot of different people, Black, Native American Indian, and Hispanics that were coming for. There was one white guy who came out. He was wearing some dirty looking beanie, and he was saying, he basically came on and started saying, "I have every right to join in the practices and to get involved in religious practice, our practices, basically." Him and it was a white woman that said the same thing. And there were so many. It was a native Indian woman that said it best. She basically says, "So let me get this straight. You stole from us everything. You stole from us. You stole from the Hispanics. You stole from Black people. You stole from Africa. You stole everything from everyone. And you basically, you in a sense dehumanized yourself because you got rid of your individual cultures and took on the culture of white supremacy. You called yourself white. Your only culture as white people is to literally kill, steal, and destroy. And now that you have nothing left, when you stole everything from us, everything that was tangible, the only things we're left with is things of a spiritual nature that will help us to heal. Now that you've realized, you've woken up and you've realized exactly what it says in Jeremiah 16:19 and in the Wisdom of Solomon 5, where it talks about what has all our vauntings brought us. It's all vanity. When you realize that you have nothing because you're dead inside, now you want to come and start taking and appropriating the things that you left us with, which was our spiritual, the spiritual side of what we have that's helping us to heal. Now you want to come in and steal that. We're trying to use this to heal from you stealing and killing and destroying us. Now you want to come in and steal that. She said, how do you expect to heal from that when all you want to do is steal from us again?
Exactly. So how is there any semblance of trust? There will never, ever be any trust from any of us. And as far as brothers saying that this, because I get it all day long, people on my timeline telling me, America is our home. Well, you stay here, because when when it's time for us to leave, I'm out of here. So if this is your home, go ahead. But like you said, where's Babylon? Where is Babylon? Tell me.
And so you got to remember, a lot of folks, when they say America's our home, um, as soon as you don't have running water, as soon as you lose electricity, as soon as you are running low on food, or you're out of food and you need to leave, and you know that you need to leave, or else you're at peril, right, of dying, people leave.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I wasn't. Listen, they stole us. I'm not here anyway. Look, people are gonna come to that rationalization real quick.
Very
Oh,
quick.
they got food. Oh, they got food over there. Yeah, you know what? It was a good run. For these last 400 years, I'm out. You know, you know what I'm saying? And I laugh because when people say that, they're going to be the first ones when they're starving, when they're dying, when they're
Mm-hmm.
realizing that they may have to eat their own family members. That it's like,
The
nah,
hills have eyes.
yeah, nah, we need to get up. We need to bounce up on out of here. We need to go on over there. They're already saying this civilian corridor, this civilian route is safe. They already gave us the instructions of how to, be recouped, or it's gonna happen.
I want to know
It's
what
gonna
them
happen.
Dominicans are going to say. Where are
You
they
know,
going to go?
sister, the sister, Cry Loud Israel. She said something. She said she was teaching. She said, but she came back and she said, but I'm a singer. And one thing I will have to say is that you can teach all day long. In what you will speak, or at least think what you're teaching is getting through. Your biggest teacher is going to be the singers. It's going to be the singers.
Mm.
It's going to be the singers. If you want to get a message through, what did our forefathers do when they was
Yeah.
trying to get from a slave country to up north? They used songs.
Mm.
They used songs, but nobody else understood it except our people. And I mean, and they be singing so good. Even the Gentiles like, sing me that song.
Mm-hmm.
And the
That's what I
song,
learned, bro, Mike. Not to
True.
cut you
Same.
off, but I've learned that the slaves made. That's how calypso was made. The slaves would sing different songs and bang on different things that the slave
yes.
owners
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interject.
No. We here to enlighten one another. It's not this is nothing about disrespect or somebody cutting us off and things of that nature. So I'm not even trying to entertain that. I'm not. But it's where there's some things like what this sister here, Cry Loud Israel. She's a singer. Your best bet to get your word, sing it, put it in a song. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to go over some people's heads. Other people will not. They're going to understand everything that you're saying. Everything.
And I think that's the best way to segue into Karis's Covenant Awakening's greatest Yesharel hits. Coming soon.
Some people want to exodus it all, but some don't want to lose it all until those bombs start dropping.
Yeah. And then that's AA cares. That's when they wake up. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is that a bomb? You know, and then all of a sudden that's when everything turns on. And you mean, like, dude, think about
That's actually funny.
You will always be my boo until those bombs hit Babylon.
I gotta leave you. Yeah.
I said, I gotta leave Babylon alone. I see no bomb coming. I gotta get the heck on, cause I can't be here no more.
Hey, Karis, let me ask you something. Do you remember what came out of the closet?
What was it? As the Russian troops got closer to the stairway, all I see is Vladimir's baby voice.
I mean, if you take that, because man, I was like, look here, ain't nobody finna listen to all of these songs talking about he trapped in the closet. That was just my mentality. I'm not gonna do it. I like now, but
man, oh yeah, we could go on all day. Yeah, it's funny until it starts to happen, and you know it's not going to be funny anymore. Brother Karis, I don't like how you're joking about captivity and the end of captivity.
Do they be calling you like that? Do they be saying things like that to you? It's not funny.
Don't say that in my little comment section.
They'll say it is funny.
The Most High gave you a channel, and I think you should use more discretion, and you should be a little bit more mature with your audience. I mean, you always try to have like a stand-up comedic routine, and you shouldn't handle the word of the Most High like that.
Shut up, man. Not you. I'm just like, them, just shut up. Go away. Buzz off.
Oh yeah, no, that's what they say. That's what they say. I'm like, that used to bother me, and I'm like, get your own channel then. You don't
exactly.
No, Karis, I will say, let it go. Let it go, because this is what it's going to serve as
let
a purpose.
Go.
You beat me to that. You beat me to that. You beat me.
It literally was in my mind. I didn't want to be that person, but
come on. I know you got the ad lib. Let's get that.
I love it too much.
It's going to serve its purpose. One or the other is going to die off. They can complain, but reality is going to show what's going to happen or what's happening. And that's the thing. I mean, let them complain. Oh, you this and you that. But then when it's all over said and done, whether it's a joke, that joke is going to be a reality.
In the words of my dad's favorite band, after the judgment's gone, what used to be wrong is right.
Oh my God.
On and on and on. Oh.
Yeah,
after the judgment's done, what used to be wrong is right.
Garth, oh, you are a singer in your own right.
Man. Oh my goodness. So that's funny. That is
no. But I think with the
system, how can you not laugh at these moments? This is what makes us who we are. We laugh. We have to. You know, I mean, if we weren't laughing, grief, can you imagine?
We'd be
a miserable people.
I mean, depressed, suicidal. There is no. We would literally be dead a long time ago. If you look at it out that way, if we did not have the strength of Yah, we will be dead. Deleted a long time.
Where's Rojo?
If we didn't have, we would have been using some candy bars with extra Skittles.
You ain't joking. Make sure all the colors got through. To do it. No,
Oh,
but I mean,
Hey, I'm just saying, y'all, you gotta get your candy bars and your Twizzlers and your Jolly Ranchers.
so I mean, truthfully, I will put this out to the nations, Gentiles. These people that is still living down to this very day, out of all of what you all have done and is doing, how is it possible that they are still continuing to live? How is it possible that they are continue to make music, to laugh? They go cry. They go to how is it that they are still living? It got to be a higher power that is protecting these people. Did not Yah say it? It did not say it. I will not
Mike,
tolerate
you talk like this, you need a backing track. I mean, come on, that voice. You need a track. Come, Karis, you got something. I know you got something. Play something in the background while Michael is talking.
Karis got it. Yes, he do. Karis got one.
Come on, man.
Play pump it up.
No.
Nothing upbeat. We need something smooth, man. Shush,
I already had the ad lib on that. There's a right and a wrong way to go through judgment. Brother Mike is trying to reach out to you. Don't you hear Brother Mike telling you how Yah's about to judge these nations? He's trying to let you know. Mike's trying to tell you you're doing wrong. Because Mike is
my cheeks are hurting.
You die in Babylon. Deleted. wrong way to live in Babylon. No, oh. I said it's not true. I said it's not true. Your tithe is not going to save you. The offering of pastor is not going to save you.
No, it won't.
If I had the quick ad lib on that background chat, the background track, that would have been going on with Brother Mike.
Oh, Brother Mike, come on, man. You need to speech the people. Speech the people. You need the track behind you when you speak. Every time Mike opens his mouth, we need, because your voice is so smooth. It really is. I just listen. I stop what I'm doing and I just listen. And I hear the music in the background. There's no music playing, but I'm hearing it.
Sister, you don't need to make, you do not need to make a brother blush.
But for real, your voice is smooth.
You know what? Me and Karis and Red, we was talking about something like that. Not me, but we were saying, hey, let's do this here. And Karis like, that do sound like an idea. And I think Karis need to revisit that. I really believe.
What now?
Let me just say it this way. It's this brother. I mean, you got other channels that does it. They read the scriptures and they have the rain or wind or the clashing of the sea while they read scriptures, and it give you that. Where some brothers and sisters, they go to sleep on that, that nature. And so we was talking about that, and but we have a lot of things that we're contending with right now, And, you know, Karis made that call. Now let's just hold off on that because we need to, you know, which I understood and things of that nature. But I do see that we're taking any and all avenues that we can put in place for our people and things of that nature, because we need it. I mean, without Yah, we would have been deleted a long time ago. And that's one thing we gonna have to understand. There is no talking about, oh, I did this or I did that. No. You only living because of Yah's will, His grace.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's the thing I look at. And my thing is this. I mean, when Moses and our forefathers got out of Egypt, and they crossed, you know, the divided river or sea. What did they do? They broke out in songs. They sung a song to the Most High.
Yep.
Can you imagine this? Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the sound of it? Can the gratitude that they had knowing that Abba Yah took them out. Man, I think that we know that our exodus is going to be greater than the first. And I just think if you can, when you read it and you hear, you visualize the fact that they just broke out in song and was praising the Most High, I think to myself, how much more our voices will be, I feel like our voices will be heard worldwide. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. To be
Chantel, I'm gonna say this. You recall when Yahusha and he had his disciples, and he told them that the Holy Spirit was going to come upon them, and they will, you know, when they did, they were speaking in tongues, right? Now, that was only for the disciples, and they was all like the tribe of Judah. Judah is about the only tribe out of Israel who is multilingual, because we are on the four corners of the earth.
That's true. That's true.
Right. With the only ones you have Latins, whatever it may be. Here we are, the only tribe that can speak every language on this planet.
Hallelujah. Michael, that's a gem, bro. That's a gem that you dropped. That's deep.
Do you understand why I enjoy listening to Brother Mike? And then we put that background music on. Doom,
yes.
Doom. We're the only people on this earth that know how to talk lingo.
You know we got to find a way to get some repentance today. Brother.
Let me tell you something. Get on there. We you know, we you know, like when we get off of here, we meet and everything, all of us on there. We all be going back and forth, laughing and talking and writing things down that needs to be done and things that need to be done. It take care of us. He'll literally see, oh, that's a block of ice. He'll literally break the ice. Come on, there's some crazy stuff, and sister Shar, she just bust out and she just started laughing. I mean, it is what it is, and when you know, and that's the beauty of it. Because when you talk with these brothers and sisters and you literally understand, I can trust these people with my life. That's the relationship that you can have with individuals, and you seeing that there's not just something in common. There is also a spirit that brings you all together. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. That's what I'm seeing. And and I sit back, hey brothers, they we talking things, and majority of stuff, carries them, they start talking about some apps, him and Red and Sister Shar and Sister Fateh. I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, that's give me the equipment, I'll install it. Y'all can talk about the apps and the programming and everything. I sit back and I just listen to them. I don't voice no opinion.
No, you do, Mike. You let things know if it's practical or not, because we have a lot of streamers and stuff like that, and you kind of bring me back into the world of, okay, that's fine, but how's that go on a business? And I'm like,
It just shows
you're right, Mike.
It just shows you how Yah moves his people together. I don't care what generation you. I think Karis said in '86. Where was you at, Karis, in '86?
I was in Miami, Florida, 4 years old.
I was coming out of high school at that time.
I wasn't even born.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Look at that. But I mean, this is the CEO of Quest Unite Africa. He said, "No, Mike, we go roll this way." I have to.
No, I'm not really the CEO. I'm that party EO, right? Party time, excellent.
Party on.
I come in with the Hawaiian shirts and the over, the overstretched ties.
Oh, you that dude.
Weekend at Bernie's time, no man.
Excellent.
I come in with my '80s guitar, the little triangle one.
Oh no, sorry, it isn't so.
Up, man. You're gonna shred, bro, Karis. You're gonna threat. Yeah, man. Rip air guitar, dude.
I got.
Oh, Lord of mercy. What did I miss? Sorry, I had a delivery.
Oh my goodness. No, we do have a fun time. And we see what it does is it gets our creative juices flowing. And I mean, look, we just have ideas. I mean, that's literally how the Most High works. It's like, oh yeah, no, we need to do that. Yeah, let's write that down. Yeah, let's write that down.
Adversity breeds creativity. I like that. It's true though. For us it is.
Yeah. I'm like, Brother Garth, did you get that? And he's like, sorry, I was doing something else. I'm like, Brother Garth, no, that was perfect. Oh,
we're the only group of people that are smiling, joking. I mean, us as Israelites or world over, we're the only group of people who excel when things go bad. Nobody else can do this. I mean, when you think about everything that you guys created during slavery, who else could do that?
Yeah, exactly.
And let me ask you a question. Do you guys, when you were kids and like there was a little bit of milk left in the bottle, did you kind of add some water to it to make it stretch?
Yeah, I did. We did that when we was kids.
Yeah.
It's like cereals and you got that little milk and you add some water. It gonna get soggy real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you put the milk in first. That's what I do. I put the milk in first, and then I put the cereal on top, so it doesn't get too soggy. Yeah. But like we're the only we would have a small amount of milk left, and it's like they would be like, "Oh my gosh, where are our milk?" We were like, "No, just add just a touch of water to that, just a touch of water."
I'm gonna tell you what we did. We used to get that when I was a child. We used to get the government peanut butter. It was like a black and white can, and when we got down, it started to run low. We didn't have honey. We used syrup.
Oh,
and it'll build right back up.
And
that's
even I bet.
Boom. We ate crackers and peanut butter, And all we had to do, if we knew, and we was kids then, we'll add syrup or honey to the peanut butter, and it kept, you know, and it's something how Yah will show you how to survive.
Yeah.
And we did. We
Yeah.
did. Just,
I mean, I never liked peanut butter. We're not peanut butter fans over here. Caribbean, yes. My mum loves peanut butter. I and my sisters, like, oh, I can't do it.
You
Oh.
mad, bro? Peanut butter is the best thing ever created, bro.
I was never a peanut butter fan growing up, so
Oh
I
my
hear you.
gosh, really?
we,
Okay,
we,
good. Shake
we still,
hands. Congratulations, because every
No,
American I speak to is like,
but I do remember though taking that block of the government cheese and that government butter with
yes,
some sliced
we
bread,
did.
and you had
Good
some.
on that
I
one.
was a grilled cheese sandwich man. Give me them grilled cheese
Yeah.
sandwiches.
I
Yes, we
remember that too, Brother Karis, that block of cheese. And so I'm telling my age too. I remember being young and I, grew up in California, but once I came to El Paso, there were tortillas. So we would get the cheese and we would melt it in between the tortillas and call it Cheezos. So that's what we ate.
I think that's a quesadilla.
Well,
That's what
it was a Cheezo. We came up with it first then.
exactly. That's the brilliance of us as a people. Wherever we have been, whatever they give us, the scraps that they give us, we make whatever. And they sit, they watch, don't get it twisted, they're astounded. They watch, and we already know they're taking notes. Because they're waiting for the goose to lay its golden egg, the last egg. They want to squeeze that last egg out of us before we go. But it's like we're such a blessing to the world, and it's literally Romans 11. Like they benefited off of us in our lowest point. And I think to myself, if you think you receive blessings at our lowest point, imagine how much more blessings you would receive when we're at our high. But the pride of your heart.
So I'm gonna tell you what we did when we was kids. And we lived in the projects. Nothing but black people. And black people look for anything to have a good time, play music. And we found one. We was even though I was a child, and popcorn, we knew how to pop popcorn. And then I never will forget this. We was popping popcorn, and then we had the brown bags, because we were pointing the bag, and everybody going and they just stick their hand and they eat. And I never will forget this. I was in there popping some popcorn, and I ran up on a pack of macaronis. I went inside that pack and I poured out the cheese, the powdered cheese. And I dashed it all over the popcorn, and I shook it around in the bag. I mean, and I said we're in the projects. A whole lot of people outside, dancing and talking and thing. And I mean, when they were like, "Where you get this cheese from?" That's we never had a flavored popcorn before. And you're talking about the late 70s going on to 80s, and everybody in that project started doing the same thing. They started taking the package. I mean, in our mothers, they was getting upset because we were just going in there taking the packages out of the macaroni and cheese, and they were like, we was getting whoopings for that. But everybody was doing that
until your mom tasted it and was like, "Oh,
yeah, you know what?" And when my mother, she tasted it, and she's like, "Boy, go in that kitchen and cook some more popcorn." I mean, and then after a couple of years later, they're selling it in the stores. This stuff started with us, and they know the implications of us ever just talking about leaving. No, they do not want.
Exactly. They don't want it. But it's like, one, we're a walking crime scene. They can't handle the guilt. But their pride and their desire, their pursuit of money, and having somebody there to remind you, it's a catch-22 situation, and it's cognitive dissonance. Do you let them go because you can't deal with the guilt? Maybe if we just get them to shut up, right? Maybe that's what they want. But it's like they want us to shut up so that they can continue plucking and pilfering and squeezing every bit that they can get from us. That's what they want. But it's not just that. They also need somebody. They need us as a constant reminder. We're on a seesaw. We're on a scale, and the scale right now is tipping up for them. Well, it's slowly going down. But this is how they understand that everything is all right. Everything is good in their universe. Is that if we're still at the bottom, then everything's okay. They don't care. The issue is a non-issue for all these other people. They don't care about the Asians. They don't care about the Hispanics. They don't care about anybody else. As long as the Negro is down, we are good. Listen, you think the Asian is never going to rise up over them. The Indian is never going to rise up over them. The Hispanics never going to rise up over them. They just won't, because if they feared that, they would have. If this was going to happen, they could have done it decades ago. They should have done it decades ago. But when you hitch your wagon to white supremacy, it's not going to happen. You left us to join forces with them. So now your fate is tied to them. So when they look at us, the only way they know that their life is sunshine and roses and rainbows is when we're at the bottom. The minute it starts lifting up and they can sense it, the scale's starting to it's starting to catch, it's starting to jerk upwards. That's why they're starting to freak out. Yeah. And so they can't let us go for that purpose as well.
So I wanted to, someone had in the chat, Letitia Israel has saying that that King Charles is getting ready to abdicate his throne to now Prince William. Have you heard news about that?
I did hear about that.
Heard about that too.
I don't care. It don't mean nothing to me. I'm sorry. I mean, you will find that most of us here, including white people of here, couldn't care less. We don't care. We really don't care. It's like, so what else?
Hey, listen, I remember someone not too long ago said, if you say you don't care, that means you wouldn't be a good ruler. No, I'm just kidding.
Got him.
Hush your lips. Hush your lips. No, you know what I mean. That's different. I don't care about their rulership. It don't mean anything to me, because it's just another. So he leaves, and then his son, who's just like him, maybe even worse.
Well, yeah, because I mean, because Harry was trying to tell the truth about the dealings, and he got shunned. He's royally restricted. He's royally restricted. But before I close this on up, I wanted to so Tuna Check, I'm going to drop his link in the chat. This was this morning. And this is what I saw. This was the emergency meeting, and this was over an hour and 21 minutes. So I'm not gonna play that, but it was interesting because as I was kind of peruse over that this morning, because I don't really watch. I watched the first 3-4 minutes, and then I'll kind of see what else is on out there, right? And I just noticed this on a highlight by Al Jazeera, And Al Jazeera was saying that the emergency proceedings that was taking place, that was for that hour and 21 minutes, you had South Africa with Algeria and Saudi Arabia. And I don't know if there was one other. I'm trying to see if I could find that story. But just to me, when you hear Saudi Arabia and Algeria joining in on that emergency declaration petition, to me, that's a big deal. And they were
Saudi
kept,
Arabia, definitely a big deal.
yes, and they were given the petition in front of the ICJ.
Ooh. And there's so many pundits that keep saying, oh, Saudi Arabia, they're not really going to join the BRICS. They're just sort of, just feeling around kind of thing. It's like a will they, won't they kind of thing. No, they're going to join. We already know. But it's like, keep telling yourself that. It's like, how does it feel to be constantly wrong all the time?
Hmm.
Amazing.
Well, and now, listen, to me, that's what I'm saying. You're going to have an army that's about to get amassed. I said this earlier, and I'm going to say it again. You're about to have an army that's about to be amassed. And all I can see, to me, is that you would probably have forces congregating in either Saudi Arabia and Egypt, and potentially you have from the north, because you'll have Turkey coming down via Syria and Lebanon. And they're going to go through. It's going to be interesting. Saudi Arabia won't fight, but Saudi Arabia knows that when things pop off, they always want to be on the right side of history. They know that they're really not on the right side of history. They're trying to strategically shift and position themselves, right? We always want to be on the winner circle. And that's really what's happening now.
I agree with that.
You have Egypt right now. Egypt is lost to the West. Really, to me, every single North African country is now a hostile to the West. From, honestly, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt. And it doesn't stop, because now you have the Red Sea. You even have Sudan. They're still in their civil war because of their polarization of the West over to the Red Sea and then over to Saudi Arabia.
Karis, it puts in mind, Obadiah, it puts in mind where it says that what is it? It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the border of Europe, North Africa?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's about to go bad.
Turkey's always been that fair weather ally. Turkey's also one of those. They're not wanting to be on the wrong side of history. They see how this thing is going. They see what's happened on the other side of the Black Sea. They're not dumb. My thing is, Turkey to me is that leverage point, because when Turkey says, you want to know what, hey, U.S., it's time to bounce, Saudi Arabia will say so too. And where does the U.S. mass? In Jordan? Jordan's stuck between a rock and a hard place because they get their support from Saudi Arabia. Most of their oil and everything else comes from Saudi Arabia. They'll try to diplomatically, well, as long as you're not doing operations, nah, it's over. That thing falls like a house of cards. So, now I look at it like this. Those little satellite areas, they're not going to be supported. That's why I was saying now to me, I think, to be honest, the next strategic choke point that they're going to start focusing in on is going to be the Strait of Gibraltar. Mark my words. Mark my words. It's going to be the Strait of Gibraltar. We're just going to have to embargo you. That's what they're going to do. They're going to have a ship embargo. And it's going to be very interesting. We're living in some very, very interesting times, family. If you had said that this was going to start, if 2024 is going to start off like this, I would have. I probably would have said, yeah, okay. But like this, I wouldn't have seen this coming. With the legal actions and the legal proceedings and what was going on with the BRICS and everything else. This is interesting. So with that, I'm going to have final thoughts. Final thoughts.
Yeah, shalom, family, and everyone. Enjoy the rest of their day. I'm out.
All right. Thanks, Brother Garth. Don't be in haste. All right. I think.
Sorry about that. Sorry. I was cutting something. Sorry. Thank you again for letting me come on. I just want to read 5 verses if it's okay. It's just quick.
Go
It's
ahead.
Psalm 70. It says, "Make haste, O Yahuwah, to deliver me. Make haste to help me, O Yahuwah. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek after my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. Let them be turned back for a reward of their shame that say, Aha, aha. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. And let such as love thy salvation say continually, Let Yahuwah be magnified. But I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O Yahuwah. Thou art my help and my deliverer, O Yahuwah. Make no tarrying." I just want to say thank you, and I pray that the Most High come for us quickly.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Sister Chantel. Sister Cry Loud Israel. Go ahead. You're unmuted. Okay. Well, we cannot hear you, Sister Cry Loud Israel. But thank you for coming on. Hallelujah. This is a time that I come through and just say thank you, family, for supporting this channel. If you'd like to do so, you can give. This is my Cash App right here. I thank you, family, for the support because come next week, I will be providing a pretty big announcement. Hopefully in the next couple weeks. I'm going to say maybe the next couple weeks, hopefully. It's in regards to some things, in regards to where we are nearing our R&D QA, our quality assurance for a highly sought after product. and we're about to get it to market. Shout out to Brother Red and Brother Fast Nickel, and to the rest of our R&D engineers for this launch that's getting ready to happen. We're we're still doing field trials and field tests. All I can tell you is when you spray it on, it will do absolutely nothing for you. But at least you'll have it for close comfort. Oh, and yes, family, this is real. This is real. I told y'all, I said we're doing this. There had to be some things to get sorted out and sourced out. So, hallelujah. Hallelujah. So that major announcement will be going in the next couple of weeks. That is the Most High's timing. Hallelujah. This is how your donations go to good use here on this channel. Y'all act like the Most High doesn't have a sense of humor. Stop. Stop. I was going to say suggest 4 easy payments in 1995. you know, brother J0. Brother Garth had that same suggestion. I said, "Nah, we need to keep it simple right now. Let's get for marketing effects. We don't know the we haven't tested it and submitted that for FDA evaluation just yet." Oh man. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So that's one of the things that we're working that we're working on. Oh. Yes, family. So yeah, so thank you for your support of the channel. We are going to try to do some late night infomercials. I actually was talking about, look, we want to do a commercial. Put that thing on Fox News. News Nation. I just want to that they will be wildly successful. We sunk $3 million into running that thing consistently on the hour, every hour on Fox News. I don't know what it is, but I was talking to Shirley, and it looked like it was a good idea. The white guy that was selling the product, he said that times are gonna be troubling. So I thought it was a good idea. I got my gold investments, and now I think I'm pretty secure with my anti-captivity spray. So yeah, I think that was a great investment. Oh. I'll have to find a spokesperson. Maybe I could get the brother from the State Farm commercials, or not State Farm, the that was on 24. Get protected from life. Get protected from mayhem. Get protected from judgment. Oh my goodness. It's like potassium iodide. You know what I'm saying? They sell it at the stores, right? But you're not going to know that the thing actually works until, the nuclear bomb goes off. I don't know. Just like that. But you know what? If you care about your Gentile counterparts, if you care about your Gentile brothers and sisters, don't let them be unprotected without it. You give a prayer and you say, here you go. Hallelujah. I loved you enough to tell you about this anti-captivity spray. Hallelujah. You can have yours here too for 4 easy payments of $29.95. We take a firm. Oh my goodness. All right, sorry, family. Let me jump up on out of here. All jokes aside, though, we are living in some really interesting times. And the world is literally shifting right in front of our faces. We need to be on guard. We need to be in prayer. We need to be ensuring that our relationship with Yahushua HaMashiach is intact. And we need to be covered under his blood. All day, every day. Most High willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. Thank you, family, for your support for Quest Unite Africa. Please pray for us, family. We're getting things taken care of. Oh man, it's awesome to see what the Most High is doing behind the scenes. It truly is. And we want to make sure we have reports for you all because, this Invest in Africa seminar is going to be truly special. And it's going to be very, very edifying to understand how you are being viewed by our brothers and sisters on the continent. Make no mistake about it, family. We hear the talk in the background. We hear what they're looking for, what they're asking for, what they're praying for. They're praying to have their family back on the continent, on the ground. And they see this world shifting and changing. We know what the scripture says. We know the promises of our Elohim. And his word is awesome. And his promises are true. So with that said, family, Most High willing, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have some more discussions because you know that it's going to continue to get crazy. Because honestly, the more that they do these ICJ discussions, things are really starting to move. So with that said, family, Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.
Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Karibuni sana.
Are you tired of fighting with your wife or with your husband? Have you each retreated into your separate corners, not even trying to speak to each other anymore? Are your children witnessing a toxic marriage rather than a purposeful partnership? Hi, I am Shar, and I am an attorney mediator and experienced in helping families for the past 13 years navigate really challenging times. And I am here to help you. Husbands, hear your wives. Wives, hear your husbands. So together we can find the truth why your family is struggling and what it will take to get unstuck from cycles of misunderstanding and patterns of frustration. Join me live on YouTube on this Monday night at 6:00 p.m. Eastern as I conduct a live mediation. And if you would like to be heard, if you would like to hash out a misunderstanding with your spouse here on our live, sign up now to apply for your free opportunity to mediate. And I look forward to seeing you Monday night. Container packed with supplies that need to make their way to families in Africa, like yesterday. You said this is a 53-foot trailer? This trailer is packed with medical supplies destined to the motherland. We need to help get these out of here.